watching the Scottish Football Zone with all the build-up and reactions.
Hello, very good evening to you, and welcome to the Scottish Football Zone on a big weekend of Scottish Cup action. We'll be here. We'll be talking about not all the games, but some of the games, but there's a full card of games as well. We'll be talking these games we'll be concentrating on. We'll be concentrating on the game Rangers. Rangers Arbroath, Rangers against Annan, Skindra against Queen's Park, Dunfermline against Hibs, Dundee United against United, Kilmarnock against Hearts against Falkirk, and Motherwell against Ross County. And also we've got the romance of the cup, Auchinleck Calvert Reagan against Celtic on Sunday. So these are the games we'll be talking about this weekend. Get your comments coming in. We'll be asking.
I'm surprised you've not invited one of the old producers, Con.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah. Yeah. He'll be sitting in the fence a bit like me, Reagan, because he's a Auchinleck fan and the Celtic fan. But we'll get, as I say, get your comments coming in, and we'll be asking Reagan, and we'll be asking Ethan about their banana skins of the week, of the fourth round, because obviously there is a banana skin in there amongst some of the games. So the game we'll be talking about tonight. So first up, guys, we'll be heading to Ibrox tonight because Rangers are playing Annan at 7:15. And Reagan, I suppose it's not the glamour. It's not the. It's a big kind of cup final for Annan because of the money and because of the gate receipts and all that kind of thing. But Rangers would want to carry on and get another win.
Yeah, Michael, Rangers will. I mean, they've been in pretty great form at the minute. Rangers are playing well in the row. They're spending a bit of money as well. Something that other big clubs in Scotland don't tend to do at the moment, as we can see. But I think Rangers will be looking at this. But I was speaking to Queen's Park today, and we were talking about that big moment last year when Rangers lost to Queen's Park. So Rangers will be hoping there's not any banana skin, like you said there, Michael. I think Rangers will be looking to see are we able to get through without any sort of troubles.
Ethan?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I agree. I think it would be the Queen's Park upset was obviously a monumental shock, but this would take something even else for a League Two side of Annan Athletic size to go to Ibrox and get a result. But as we said, it's a great evening for them going to Ibrox. I'm sure they'll sell out most of their allocation, if not all of it, because you don't get these chances don't come around often. You obviously have to go back to when Rangers were in the lower leagues the last time Annan got the chance to go to Ibrox. They did host Rangers in 2022 in the Scottish Cup, and Rangers won 3-0. But apart from that, they haven't met since the two sides. Since the two sides were in the lower leagues. For Rangers and Danny Rowe, it's an opportunity to continue momentum of a great winning run that he's installed since he's come in and kept going, and an excellent opportunity to rotate the squad as well, because he's got big games coming up, obviously, in the league. The thing that will be interesting, though, is they've got the European game on Thursday at home to Ludogorets Razgrad of Bulgaria. That game means absolutely nothing in the context of Rangers progressing out of the league phase, obviously, but they want to earn a bit of pride. So I think he'll probably rotate the squad quite a bit. We might see some of the players that haven't played a lot, maybe even like your Lyle Camerons and stuff like that, to get a chance. And then
I think he's off to Aberdeen.
yeah, is he? I think I've seen that as well.
Yeah, I think he's off to Aberdeen, and Finley's off to Rugby Park with his old coach Billy Dodge. So
Yeah, Finley Cutters, yeah, I did see that rumour as well. So yeah, they could be ones that miss out, but maybe the other players that haven't got as many minutes then this season. Kieran Dowell, he's still there, isn't he? I think.
yeah, but he's I think he'll go out loan to Major. I think Rangers will try this month, even I don't know if you agree, but I think they'll try and get a lot of people off the wage bill as well, because you look at players like Rothwell, who's come up here and been absolute rotten. You look at players like Jager. I think Jager will be here for the rest of the season, but I think someone like Fernandez has been much better than Jager, to be honest with you, especially from set plays. He's been a breath of fresh air for Rangers, but I'll be interested to see if Rangers actually try and sign a striker. But I think that Olsen will be the Rangers' last signing of the January window. Even I don't know if you agree, because I did see that Rangers, if it's successful, Rangers will need to pay in the region of £10 million, £9 million being the actual price, but potentially add-ons as well.
What's this for? Sorry,
for the Danish boy.
Oh, Andre Skov Olsen, yeah. That one still hasn't been announced, has it?
No, but I think it'll be announced soon.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, I think that'll be Rangers' last sign of the window, because I think they're
so?
Yeah, I think they're well kind of placed at every position. I don't know if you agree, but
I think they still need a striker. That's what I would say.
I don't think Rangers need a striker. This might sound bad in the league at the moment, but I don't think Rangers need a striker to win this league.
Well, I don't know if they need a striker to win the league, but it would certainly improve their chances when Miovski and Sharmati have shown
if Rangers go out there and they sign a really good striker, even I would put Rangers title favourites, but I just don't think they will. I think Danny Rowe will be promised a certain budget and promised a certain level of player, and I think that Rangers have done that this window.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, they might be. You might be right, but I think the one position they do need, if they were to add any more signings to what the three, well, assuming that Andre Skov Olsen will be announced soon, on top of Romans and is it Chukwuani, the midfielder? Yeah, obviously get sent off at Celtic Park when he played for Sturm Graz. So yeah, I think one of the two of the new signings that's been announced is injured. I don't know what one it is. I can't remember, but I know one of the two of them's injured, so they won't be able to play tonight. But we might see one of the other ones, and maybe Andre Skov Olsen will be unveiled finally in front of the Ibrox crowd. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, it could be the end. But I feel like they might try and get a striker in, and maybe try and offload Danilo. But I'm not sure.
That's true, yeah.
What happens over in the coming.
His poor dad might still be dancing at Ibrox, but you've got to let him go. I mean, I don't think he's of the standard of Rangers, but I've said that for Celtic from the start of January. I believe that Celtic need two strikers, and they've still not got one in yet.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Where was that Dag was dancing again? Was it Easter Road after the game? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he enjoys the wee dance, I think.
Yeah, I built it myself, Michael.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I dance on the season. Yeah. So Yeah, so what's your predictions in this one? I'm scared to have Reagan, Ethan, because I know he's wacky every week, but it'll be 10 times tonight, I think, going into this game. But yeah.
I'll go 5-1 to Rangers.
Oh, Aaron getting a goal.
Give him a goal. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Penalty, maybe. I don't know.
I
Ethan?
thought it was against Rangers. I thought it was penalty Rangers.
I'm going to go with a 4-0 win for Rangers. I think he'll rotate the squad quite a bit. Still have some usual players in there, but I think they'll get the job done. It won't be anything special playing against Aaron Athletic. No disrespect to them. Hopefully Aaron can be proud of the performance and make a game of it, but I think Rangers will have way too much for them, regardless of what team they field on the night.
Yeah, this will be Aaron's Cup final, but I'm afraid they won't be going home with medals. They'll be going home with lots of money that they'll make in the Ibrox. I will go with a 5-0 win to Aaron.
Michael's sitting on the fence tonight,
What I was going to say was another thing is that this is Aaron's first game of the calendar year. They haven't played since the 27th of December because of match cancellation. So whether that works in their favour or not, obviously less fixture congestion, but then again, they'll probably not be as match sharp. So you could, but then again, the Rangers players coming in, if we're bringing in a few players out of the cold that haven't played many minutes, then they might not be sharp either. So that's just something to keep an eye on. But I still feel expect Rangers to win pretty easily tonight.
And then we've got a game in first. It means absolutely nothing as well, Ethan. But because it's at home, they would want to maybe continue that win and run, even though the game in first doesn't mean nothing. But it means something to the players.
Yeah, it's all about pride. I think when you go out a European competition and you've still got games to spare, you want to show that. And for Rangers, I think we've known all season that squad's not good enough to get out of that Europa League phase. And I think we might say the same for Celtic in a couple of weeks when they've played their 2 games. Celtic obviously still in with a bit of a chance. But yeah, I think if they can get a result on Thursday night against Ludogorets, a win, then it would show progression under Danny Rowe, because it would be the first win they've gotten the league phase this season, which is something they obviously haven't done yet. So that would be another sort of accolade for the manager.
Okay, let's move on to the game down at Skinragh tomorrow against Skinragh against Queen's Park in the Scottish Cup. And the reason that we're talking about it is because, in fact, we would have spoke about it earlier as well, but Reagan went along today to speak to the Queen's Park manager, Sean Crichton. We're going to hear from him now about the game, and then we'll come back and speak about the game tomorrow. So here's Sean Crichton about the Skinragh game tomorrow.
Obviously a big win for you against Forfar on Tuesday night. Tell us how much you're looking forward to and putting the players back on the pitch again.
Yeah, obviously we had a couple of weeks off there with no games, so it was good to get the players back on Tuesday, and we managed to get the win that we needed. So I was delighted that we got there. I thought we played better second half, but overall it was just so important that we got through. And then now we're looking forward to Stranraer, and it'll be pretty much the same message tomorrow. Go and play and try and get through.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect from Stranraer? Obviously they're playing League 2 as well, but there was a lot of draws recently. But I suppose the big thing in this is making sure you treat them properly and make sure you're through.
No, absolutely. I said this against Linlithgow when we played them in the last round. Don't take any team lightly in the Scottish Cup. And again, I've went to watch Stranraer and they're a good side, and they're doing well in League Two. So no, the players have got my message this week that it's not going to be an easy game, and we need to make sure we get a bit of business the right way.
How important is it to get someone with that experience into the squad?
Oh, really important. Again, when I knew Ricky was free, he was one that I wanted to get in the door. I've worked with Ricky in the past as well, so I know exactly what I was getting. So no, he's added good experience, and he managed to get through 90 minutes the other night there, which was key. Yeah,
I mean, Josh Fowler is one of your main kind of guys at the top end of the pitch. He scored again the other night. I mean, see if you're going to go on a big run in this sort of trophy, how important is he going to be?
Oh, massive. Again, I think I've obviously brought in Callum Smith, who can't play in the Scottish Cup, but the likes of Josh and Seb and stuff like that, they're just clicking just now. And again, there's Liam McLeish added his goal the other night as well. So no, I'm really happy with the firepower I've got at the top end of the pitch, and they'll be important.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the squad, you're looking to add anybody in terms of January?
Well, we're always looking just to see. It just needs to be the right one or the right two or whatever it's going to be. I think it's important for me just to make sure that whoever I bring in, like I did, I brought in Callum and I brought in Ricky, they need to be the right mould, they need to be the right fit and the right player. So no, we're always looking just to see.
Queen's Park's got a rich history. Do you see the importance? Obviously, Queen's Park as well got that magnificent result against Rangers last season. You sort of saying to the players, if you can get through this tie, then sort of anything is possible. Yeah,
that's it. Again, I was lucky enough as a player to play in the Scottish Cup at the best teams and the best stadiums, etc. myself, and I said that to the group. It's important that we get a bit of business the right way, get through this tie, because you never know who you can get.
Yeah, and obviously, I was looking through the fixtures and I think it's only one loss in the last 7 matches for yourself. I mean, that must be so important to build momentum and strength in the squad as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been delighted with the last month or so. Obviously, the games getting called off didn't help, but we managed to keep our momentum up, getting the win the other night there, so we need to continue that, and that's the message for tomorrow as well, keeping that momentum.
Yeah, I noticed you said the other night about the fact that you've not played in a while and possibly not be happy with the first half. Do you put that down to not having played very much, or is it just sort of getting back into the swing of things?
I think we could definitely see there was a wee bit of rust in a lot of the players. Again, obviously I went quite young again. I think we had 8 academy graduates in the squad again. So, but that's important for me in that competition. But no, listen, we managed to get through, but there was definitely a lot of room for improvement, and hopefully we can show that tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about bringing through young players. I mean, it's so important that these players are getting first team football in the Championship, the second tier in Scotland, and actually showing what they can do as well. Yeah,
that's it. I said this when I got the job. I knew that I had a big pool of young players, and they needed to go and show me what they're all about. And to be fair, a lot of them have. A lot of them the other night there probably know that they let themselves down, but at the same time they're getting the experience, and that'll be so valuable for them. And within the next year or so, that could be really, really, really helpful for all the young players.
So in terms of the match you're going to tomorrow, have you got any fresh people been injured or back in the squad? Or?
Well, young Tyrese McDonald will probably come back into the squad tomorrow. He's managed to get through training, but apart from that, we're pretty much the same squad. I managed to get probably Grant Savoury will be back in. He missed out the other day there in the squad, but again we need to manage his kind of injury kind of past, so I've just gave him a wee rest the other night there. But no, everybody else should be good to go, and hopefully as I said, we're all looking good for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, what type of message would you say to the fans, because I'm sure they'll be up there in a big numbers tomorrow?
Yeah, do you know, the fans have been amazing, and I think we're going to need them tomorrow. I mean, it's not an easy journey going down there, but I get back to the game that we played Ross County. We had really good support up at Ross County, and hopefully we can get the same tomorrow, because we'll need them at any point in the game tomorrow.
Yeah, and obviously Stranraer playing at home, you'd expect them to bring a big crowd as well. I mean, I think this sort of the early rounds of the Scottish, that's where people enjoy playing in, and surely the players have got to rise to that occasion as well.
No, absolutely. We had a big crowd at Linlithgow when we played up there that night. I knew they would have a good crowd as well, and Stranraer will be no different. Obviously I played down there as a player, again loads of times, and I mean they've got a good support. So no, it should be a really exciting cup tie, and hopefully we can come through it.
Thank you very much, Sean, and all the best for the tie against Stranraer, and I'll speak to you again soon, okay?
Thanks very much. Thank you.
As I put myself on mute and I forgot to unmute myself, even though I've been doing this for about 10 years. So that was Regan talking to Sean Clayton ahead of the game tomorrow, Regan against Stranraer.
Yeah, it was a great to chat to him. He was a nice guy. I've spoken to him before during my time talking to players and managers at Partick Thistle. I know Michael seems to think I've got some sort of bias towards Partick Thistle, but that's far from the case. I'm an impartial person. But yeah, I mean, it's just great to speak to these guys because they've obviously got great experiences in Scottish football, and it's just great for me to get that experience as well to speak to them.
Yeah, it was really good to listen to, really informative, and it's excited me for this fixture because it's one that I think I maybe overlooked. But looking at the two teams, are both on really good form. I know Stranraer went out of the Challenge Cup to Ayr United, but I think they've only lost 3 of the last 21 games or something like that, and they came against East Kilbride and Annan on top of that, lost to Ayr United. They beat another team from the Lowland League in the last round. They beat the high flying Bankies, or Clyde Bank as they're known, further away in extra time. So yeah, that's a really interesting game. It won't be easy for Queen's Park to go over to Stranraer despite them being a couple of divisions below. Obviously Queen's Park going into the game as favourites as the championship side, but yeah, it'll be one I'll keep an eye on, certainly, as I'll probably keep an eye on all of the matches. But this is what happens in the Scottish Cup. Every game has its own little narrative which is created, and this is the beautiful nature of the Scottish Cup and why I like it so much, because hopefully we do get some upsets, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think as well it's important to mention, like I said to Sean, I mean, Queen's Park's got a big sort of time in the Scottish Cup. You look at that result last year, you look at them being the first club to win the Scottish Cup, so they've got so many moments that they are associated with this trophy.
Yeah, exactly that. And of course they are, warehoused in the former home of the Scottish Cup, now just outside of it. So yeah, and Queen's Park, the oldest club in Scotland as well, aren't they?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, a historic club. Yeah.
Apart from Regan, he's the oldest. I'm the second oldest. And if you believe that, you believe in Santa. What I do, I do really believe in the white man with the beard, as well. Long as he's not walking out of Selkirk Park again and getting booed, as well. But yeah, I mean that these games are good to watch, especially on TV, Regan, because I like the camera angle and all that and the atmosphere, and also no VAR at these games as well, so even better.
Yes, I think I totally enjoy it when there's no VAR, because when there's a goal you can genuinely celebrate. So it just makes it all a little bit sweeter as well, because you don't want to go into a football game and then go, right, well, we're just going to check VAR for 5.5 minutes. I don't know if you've seen the Man City game, Michael, on STV the other night, but I watched it on STV, and the actual the Man City players, Semenyo, they checked it for about 5.5 minutes. It ruined the full game. I think one of the pundits said that it definitely could have caused some sort of injury for players as well.
Yeah, exactly that. That's always been the thing with the VAR and delaying offsides and stuff like that, delaying decisions. I think the big one that comes to mind was the Virgil van Dijk one, when Jordan Pickford put in a really nasty tackle and injured him, but it was offside, so it couldn't be penalised. But I don't think that was a case of delaying play. But I think we are going to get one of those issues, and it's going to be a problem when it does come along. So hopefully it doesn't, but it feels like it's only inevitable that that's going to happen. And yeah, I think this will be a really close game. I think it'll be a hard one to call. Both teams will have their moments. Stranraer have actually won more of the last few meetings in the last 24 meetings between the teams. Stranraer have won 10.
That's why you get paid. That's why you get paid more money than me.
Queen's Park one night. I'm just looking at my app. My app's just telling me there's no special work behind this. Yeah, Stranraer beat them in the League 2 promotion sort of playoff thing in 2021, and it shows how far Queen's Park have obviously came back up since then, getting back up to the Championship. And then recently in 2022, the League Cup group stages, Queen's Park won 5-2 at Stranraer, and a current Scottish Premiership striker scored a hat-trick for Queen's Park. Can you guess who it was in 2022?
No, that could be a quiz question for the end of the show. What Roy was doing last week.
I just threw it in to see if any of you can get it. He's right. I'll give you another clue. He's having a tricky season. He had a really good season last year, but he's having a really tricky season. He's pretty much scored goals everywhere he's went. And
Simon Murray.
Yeah, it's Simon Murray. Yeah.
There we go. For
Simon Murray.
Top knowledge. That's why I get paid the big money. Right, Michael?
Knowledge is a bomb.
Knowledge is power.
Maybe I should have mentioned the word bomb, actually. But there you go. So I think as well, I don't know about you guys, right? But I think like if this game was at home, right, I would say, well, yeah, Queen's Park, but because it's away from home and because the weather's not brilliant and I know that down there away from home, I think it would be, Queen's Park might egg the game. I better say that because Reagan won't be invited back if I say Stranraer to win the game. But I think Queen's Park will just egg this game, Reagan, but I think it'll be a tighter game than everybody thinks.
Yeah, I think Queen's Park will win the game, Michael, but I think there's always that feeling of will we get a sort of Macclesfield and Crystal Palace game, a tight pitch, the weather, the wind, the surface, like because the pitch is so close to the dugouts and stuff like that. So I think it all plays its part, but I think in the end I'm going to go for a 4-1 victory for Queen's Park.
Oh,
is that
I'm going to go. Sorry, Michael.
No, I was just going to say that Reagan's second team now in Glasgow, Queen's Park.
Second or fourth?
Second team after Partick Thistle?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a more narrow scoreline, a really narrow. I'm going to go a 2-1 win for Queen's Park, but I'm going to go after extra time.
Yeah.
Another thing I've noticed, another fact is obviously looking at the Stranraer badge, 1870 they were founded, so they're the third oldest team in Scottish football. Obviously Queen's Park are the oldest, as we said there. Only Kilmarnock older than Stranraer. There you go.
See, that's what you're here for, knowledge, right?
Brilliant.
I'm just it's all here. It's all here for me.
It's all in the head. It's all in the head. Nothing down the stairs, but all upstairs. Ethan, I wasn't going to say this, right, but I was going to go 2-1 to Queen's Park, but in 90 minutes.
But yeah, I think it'll be a difficult game. It'll not be easy for Queen's Park to go there, but I still fancy them as the team in a couple divisions up.
As Reagan disappears off camera, I think he's going to the Queen's Park hotel before the game, Ethan. Yep. So that's Queen's Park. Skinborough against Queen's Park. Let's talk about another game tomorrow, Ethan. There's a lot of games on. Actually, we'll be here till about 9 o'clock tonight, I think. But just a selection of games that we're going to talk about. Dunfermline against Hibs, and I suppose, Ethan, before we start talking about the game, it's good to see Neil Lennon back in the dugout after his father passing away. I think that was that during Christmas or after Christmas? I can't remember.
I can't remember exactly. I know it was
Yeah.
around the time, but yeah, excellent to see him back in and doing what I think he probably loves most, or maybe second most alongside playing. But yeah, and obviously the obvious thing here is when you think of Neil Lennon, old Hibs manager against his Dunfermline team. So yeah, Hibs are in a good run of form, probably the best run of form domestically they've been in all season, with the wins over Hearts, Aberdeen, and the beat someone else actually, did they, before they played Motherwell? Yes, of course, Kilmarnock, and then the draw with Motherwell. So yeah, I think Hibs are in a good moment. I can't see them going to East End Park and not winning, but Neil Lennon will want to make his team really difficult for the Highbies, and yeah, this is where we see the upsets when teams are having to go to away grounds to teams in the lower divisions, because it's not the luxury stadiums that you're used to, the Premiership. I know Dunfermline are Championship and have been Premiership in the last, just over 15 years-ish. So, yeah, it's not too far down, but yeah, I fancy Hibs to get the job done.
I don't know about you, Ethan, but East End Park's one of the best. Well, I wouldn't say one of the best games in the country, but it's an old-fashioned kind of ground as well. But I mean the game tomorrow, I think that's why it's on the TV, because they're expecting a bit of a shock as well. But also it reminds me of a kind of an old cup tie, as I say. I think it's going to be a very kind of open game.
Yeah, hopefully it is, and yeah, it does. Sort of reminds you of a classic Scottish Cup tie to the teams who have been in the upper leagues for quite a while, as long as I can remember. And I think most of the last times, apart from some friendlies, the times these two played was when Hibs were actually in the Championship, of course, alongside Hearts and Rangers briefly, which is crazy to think about nowadays. But Dunfermline haven't got a very good record against Hibs. They've only won one of the last 11 games, including a couple friendlies, which Hibs won. So yeah, not too confident that Neil Lennon's team can get a job done. They've not been on a great run recently, although they did pick up a massive win over Raith before the turn of the year. Due to cancellations like Anne Athletic, they haven't played this year, so they may be caught cold a little bit, although Hibs will probably rotate the team a little bit, you would think. But then again, Hibs haven't got a European game to play midweek like Celtic and Rangers do, of course.
Yeah, as well, yeah. I think this will be a very kind of tight game, very open game as well. Don't think I've seen confirmed this year. You might correct me and say that they've been on. Yeah, they've been on Friday Night Football a few times, but I just can't remember the kind of games as well. But I mean, in terms of Hibs, they are kind of on a good run, and they were going to continue that tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly that, and this would be a real bubble buster for Hibs if they went to come away with the win. And yeah, obviously Hibs will, I know it was a lot longer in between the last two Scottish Cup wins, but they'll want to try and get another trophy because clubs like Hibs, Hearts and Aberdeen have pride themselves, alongside Celtic and Rangers, as the biggest clubs in the country, will want to be getting their hands on silverware on at least a half regular basis, and it's coming round to that time again where Hibs will be wanting to compete in this competition, and they'll see it as a really good opportunity. Whereas maybe Celtic, Rangers, and Hearts are focusing more on the league, as it's obviously a more realistic thing for them to win. Whereas Hibs can, as we've seen this season, are pretty capable of getting results against. Well, they got a point at Celtic Park, and they obviously beat Hearts as well. I think early in the season they were a little bit disappointing in the head-to-heads against the sort of bigger teams in the league, or the teams that are doing better in the Scottish Premiership, but they've improved recently, and David Gray will be looking to keep the momentum going and keep the confidence throughout those players.
Yeah, no, I think as well that it brings that extra spice to the game, because like Neil Lennon was a Scottish Cup winning manager for Hibs, but at the same time he was going to knock out Hibs as well.
Yeah, well, was it not Alan Stubbs that was it Alan Stubbs that was Scottish Cup winning manager?
Oh yeah, so he was that against Rangers. Yeah.
Aye, but I get what you mean. The same thing. Obviously, you want to get one over these old employers. As all managers and players also do. I know sometimes they don't celebrate, but I'm sure Neil Lennon will be celebrating a lot of his team are to get the job done on Saturday at lunchtime.
Yeah. So what do you think in this game, Ethan?
I'm gonna go with a 2-0 win for Hibs. 2-0 win for Hibs. Clean sheet and a couple
3-2 win. Right, is that a new
No. I was gonna go 3, but then I went back a bit. Just the 2-0 win for Hibs. 2-0.
So I will get Regan's prediction when he's back in this one, but I think it's going to be a very tight game. There's going to be plenty of goals in it, and I will go like Regan a bit whacking this one. I will go 3-2 to Hibs.
Hopefully, as a televised game, that would be brilliant to. Well, not start off the weekend, because obviously we've got Rangers Annan tonight, but start off the day, the Saturday full of games. That would be a great start.
Yeah. Another game I'm talking about is the Dundee United against Ayr United, and I think this is, again, it's going to go back to the old phrase that I'll be using, our old cup classic tie tomorrow. Dundee United against Ayr United. Ayr United's not been going well as late, but I mean, but you can never tell by Scott Brown's team. Oh, before we go there, Regan is just back. Let's ask his prediction for tomorrow between the Pars and the Highbees, Dunfermline against Hibs.
I'll go Dunfermline 2, Hibs 4.
Oh.
A cracker.
Another cracking game. So yeah, that's tomorrow. That game's on BBC as well. I'm not advertising any more channels on this channel. But yeah, watch the BBC, right? It's a good company and all that. Anyway, let's move on swiftly. What were we talking about that? Yeah, we were talking about Dundee United against Ayr United, Tarragate Regan, and I think this is going to be a kind of Ayr United not been going well of late, but I mean, so what do you think of them? Are they the same team as Scott Brown and Kevin Thompson took over?
Yeah, Michael, I think Scott Brown's still doing a decent job. But I think they have fell away. they obviously they obviously won it in the Challenge Cup during the week. So they are in some sort of form, but yeah, I think Robbie's pal Jim, I think he'll get on to win the game. I think if I'm a betting man here, I would go Dundee United 3, Ayr 1.
Oh, I think
Ooh.
it might be a wee bit more of a difficult game than that for Jim Goodwin's team. I
Right.
think they've been on a difficult run. The last obviously lost the derby and then were beaten heavily at Celtic Park. And yeah, I think the fans are growing a little bit concerned. Not wanting Jim Goodwin to go. I don't think the majority of them anyway. But you know what, football is a very fast evolving game, and Dundee United it looks like they have a great opportunity to go for top six again. Obviously, Falkirk have bridged a bit of a gap there, but Dundee United need to get back in form, and this is the perfect opportunity. But Ayr United are a team who haven't lost in a few games, and I think they'll be coming into the game confident. But Dundee United do dominate the meetings between these teams. They've won 10 of the last 17, it says here.
So that's why you're here. All the stats are coming in. You got a stats pack at the start of the show, aye?
No, I've got an app that tells me.
Does Michael hand these out to people? Because he didn't hand them to me.
No, well, I'll ask you another question. I think this one's a wee bit easier, possibly. But one of the wins Ayr United did get over Dundee United in recent years was back in 2018 when they won 5-0 at Tannadice. What current Scottish Premiership striker scored 4 goals?
Yeah, I know.
Who was it?
Is it Mr. Lawrence Shyland?
Yes, it is Mr. Lawrence Shankland, who, of course.
Yeah,
See, 2-0.
That's why I'm paid for this show, because that's why, because the people need expert analysis.
I think if anybody's watching this from a Celtic point of view, and I know they're looking for 2 new strikers, but I think I can tell you Ethan and Regan, because Ethan just sets him up, puts him into the box, and Regan with his noggin puts him into the net. So there you go. So Lawrence Shankland, Regan, 2-0 to you when it comes to the old quiz master tonight. As well.
Matt, what's that program called when you have a special subject? What's it called again?
Mastermind.
Mastermind, aye. I'll do that. Scottish football mastermind.
Yeah.
This game reminds me. When I looked at it, in all fairness, I did think, it's the Lawrence Shankland derby, because obviously he played for both of these teams. And
do you want to know a funny story, right? Lawrence Shankland played for Ayr when no club would take him. No club wanted him. No club wanted him. You know, I remember a story. Shankland said that he was phoning about clubs, and the only reason that he went to Ayr was because one of his contacts was the Ayr manager at the time. So I think that you also can call it the Shankland derby in terms of about how far he's came.
Yeah.
By the way, was the manager of Ayr United. I'm not saying I'm as good as Regan here, but Ian McCall. No.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
That was a good recall.
You're
That
right.
was a good recall for Mr. McCall.
Yes, back in the game.
Yeah, and Shankland scored 63 goals in 74 games for Ayr across 2 seasons, which is a ridiculous record.
That's your opponent tonight is unbelievable. I don't know what Michael's gave you.
Yeah.
You want to hear another stat? I'm pretty sure these are the only 2 teams in the top 4 Scottish divisions that have got United in their name. So there you go.
That's a big claim. People are coming on right now.
No, there isn't any other. I don't think there's any others. I've checked.
Sorry, I thought you just said I'm pretty sure. I didn't know you.
I know. I did say I'm pretty sure. Unless it's hidden and it's somehow I've never found it. But
I believe your research.
Ethan's on fire tonight. By
Oh,
that's why he's the captain.
you'll need to pay my 10 extra tonight.
Yeah, I need to.
Goal
I know it's
bonus.
I
Goal
know it's
bonus.
100. I know it's 100 quid, Michael Beanie. You give me 110 tonight because he's
Well,
using fire.
Well, long as he gives me it back, because then we get back, I'll let you borrow it for about 10 minutes, as well. So what do you think the score will be in this one? Dundee United against Ayr Reagan.
I'm going to stick with what I said five minutes ago. I'm going to go 3-1 to Mr. Jim Goodwin and Dundee United. Sorry, Scott Brown, I've met you a few times. A lovely guy. I'd love to interview you. So if you're United are listening, please email us at the Scottish Football Zone at outlook.com.
There you go. Yeah. Ethan?
I'm maybe going to go for an upset here. I'm going to go for Dundee United to Ayr United to Scott Brown's team to win on the penalty kick.
That's why you're here.
By the way, I don't want to outdo you guys, especially Ethan, with his statistics and all that, but I'm actually thinking, like, could this be the ex-Celtic players derby?
Oh, yes, of course.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jim Goodwin played for Celtic for about 5 minutes, I think. And Scott Brown, well, he was there for years and they won. Ethan should record a Paul Simon song. Remind us what the Paul Simon song was. I don't know, Ethan, if you remember Paul Simon, no?
No, I don't know.
All right, okay.
You could call this the Aberdeen coach derby.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Aye.
No, it's certainly the Celtic player derby, not the Aberdeen coach derby. Scott Brown's player coach role, obviously, at the Dons.
Let us know in the chat about Paul Simon. What song was it? Because he did a few songs, Paul Simon. Every time I ask Reagan, and even I'm always reminded that I'm much older than him. So yeah. Anyway, let's move swiftly on from that. And let's move on to the next game we're going to talk about tonight. It is Hearts against Falkirk. That's on tomorrow night, isn't it? Yeah. Tomorrow night, Premier Sports. That's, I said BBC, but I said Premier Sports as well. So that's them. They owe me about £20 now for saying both of them are all in one show.
Like, I don't think you should be so complimentary.
Call me Al. Yeah. Call me Al. Yeah. Ethan's good looking at me as if to say, what the hell are you talking about, mate? Reagan, can you remember that song? No?
I do actually.
Right, okay.
I think he's saying that he's that Ethan's a version of AI there because he's been great on fire tonight. I mean,
yeah.
Call me AI, but
yeah. So you're watching the Scottish Football Zone with myself, Reagan, and AI tonight.
Michael, what I was saying there about you shouldn't be endorsing these places like the Premier Sports or BBC because the only place to be for Scottish football is the Scottish Football Zone and the dugout, isn't it, Ethan?
Yeah.
They're the only two places to be.
I'm going to ask you guys to stop promoting things because I'm going to run out of money here because I've not got any money to give you. So there you go. So Hearts against Falkirk tomorrow night. Ethan, what are you expecting from this game?
I'm expecting a closely contested game. I thought Falkirk were excellent on Wednesday night and should have taken something from the game against Celtic. Were very unlucky not to, although they will need to take their chances if they come their way. John McGlynn will, I'm sure he'll be telling his players that they're not going to probably get as many chances as they did at home to Celtic when they got to Tynecastle, and they'll need to take them when they come because, yeah, Hearts are a well-oiled machine at the minute, and they don't look like they're going to lose a game, but you never know. Falkirk beat Hearts.
Oh, there you go. The AI machine has
with
run out.
the
He's
start to the
back.
season
He's
they had
back.
under Stephen Naismith it was before Neil Critchley came in, and look at where Hearts are now.
So they even be. Oh, there you go. The AI, the money ran out. Reagan on this one. The AI. If Paul Simon's watching, call him Meow. Or AI. Getting back on the show. So Reagan, another good game to look forward to.
Yeah, big time, Michael, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing what type of match we're going to see here because it's two good teams. And obviously, you've got a Hearts team who are flying high at the top of the league. Then you've got Falkirk, who probably should have got a draw against Celtic. I don't know if you agree, but Falkirk played some great football then.
Yeah, I think Ethan was trying to say before you get rudely corrupted by AI. I think Falkirk were very poor the other week when they played Hearts at home. But it'll be a different game at Tynecastle.
Definitely will be, Michael, because Falkirk have shown that they're a very good. Falkirk are a very good team, and so is Hearts. So I think that Falkirk will pose a challenge, but ultimately I think the quality from Hearts will shine through.
Yeah, I think and another thing Ethan said as well, if Falkirk took the chances on Wednesday night against Celtic could have been in bother because Falkirk had, even though Celtic won the game and they'll be happy at that, but that the performance levels wasn't up to the mark where they were on Saturday against Dundee United. So if Falkirk take their chances tomorrow night against Hearts, it might be a different game. It'll be a difficult game because it's at Tynecastle as well.
Yeah, I think it will be, Michael, because at the end of the day, I think that obviously I said Falkirk are a good football team, but I think Falkirk in general, they really bounce off their home fans. We've seen that the other night, that the home fans were brilliant. They basically sold out the full stadium, so I think it'll be a difficult match. I don't know if you'll give your prediction, Michael, for the tournament. I'm
No,
going to go.
when you go,
I'm going to go all out, right? Fourth round of the tournament, the first round of the big boys are in, so people can't say that I'm like cheating, I'm going against whatever. But I'm going to say the Hearts are going to win the Scottish Cup this season, 2026. Your Scottish Cup winners for me are going to be Hearts.
oh, there you go. You've heard it here first on the Scottish Football Zone, and if it's not, come back in May and ask Reagan questions about that one as well. But yeah, Falkirk's a good team, Reagan. John McGlynn, talk to me about him because he's been doing an excellent job at the Falkirk Stadium.
Yeah, and Michael, I've got to say, the pies in the Falkirk Stadium are lovely jubbly. You know, I've been there last season against Dundee United in the Premier Sports Cup, and the pies there were lovely. So, yeah, the football they're playing as well, Michael. What a job he's done. They were 6 in the League One when he joined, and now they're 6 in the Premier League. So it just shows you the progression that he's made.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you know, and this is another kind of derby as well, because obviously John McGlynn, what was he? Was he he was a manager and assistant manager as well?
Yeah, and he was the manager on that famous night, Michael, that the Hearts drew against Liverpool 1-1 when David Templeton scored. So they've obviously proven that they're a very good team to watch. They're a very good team to be involved with, Michael. So I think in general, I think that what John McGlynn done at Falkirk should be praised, because he's a very good coach, very good manager. But ultimately, I think it'll end here because, as you know, I predicted the Hearts will win this match pretty comfortably, and I do believe that they'll go on and be champions of this tournament.
Ah, there you go. So what is talk to me about the how special it is for a game to be at Tynecastle, especially on a Saturday night in the Cup, Kai.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a saying, Michael, an old-fashioned cup tie and stuff like that, but that's truly what it is, Michael. It is, you know, it is, because what they actually have at Hearts is it's always a great atmosphere. It's always a great stadium to be involved in, Michael.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think your prediction will be tomorrow night, Regan? It's Hearts against Falkirk.
I'm gonna go. I'm going to go. Hearts 3, Falkirk 0.
Ah, right, okay. So I will go. I will go. There'll be games. There'll be games. There'll be goals in this game, and I think they will be. The Hearts will upset the Heart. Falkirk will upset Hearts tomorrow night, Regan, and I will go for a 2-1 win for Falkirk tomorrow night.
Oh,
Really stick my neck out. And
that is sticking your neck out because the best team in the country, and you're saying the Falkirk are going to go to Tynecastle and win.
yes.
That's going to be all over social media. I don't know if you've just been watching the show.
I don't know what happened there. I just get kicked.
No problem. It was probably Michael talking that much rubbish that actually I was actually Michael was asking me for my prediction for the actual tournament as a whole, and I was saying for me, the winner of the Scottish trophy will be Hearts.
Doing that again.
Ethan is having a. Can you hear us? No?
Yeah, I can hear you, but for some reason, everybody's on my screen, everybody's camera keeps like disappearing. It's the black spinning thing. I don't know why it's doing that.
Right, okay.
Hopefully,
if you just keep talking, I mean, I know you'd like to see it. I know we're beautiful guys, and all that we're good-looking guys, but just keep talking.
No, it's working. It's working out as we're speaking now, but yeah, it was just started doing it again. I thought I was going to get kicked out again, but. No, that is an interesting. So your prediction, Michael, was Falkirk to beat Hearts.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think Michael, I think you predicted Hearts not to win like the last 3 games.
Oh, how about that?
I think you're just predicting them.
Yeah, against Hearts because Celtic are not winning games.
No, I think what's is that. Hearts are going to lose eventually, and he's just if he keeps predicting it, then eventually it's going to happen. Isn't it?
One of these days it might, but so yeah, I think what you were trying to say, Ethan, before you get kicked off by your pal AI, is if Falkirk took their chances on Wednesday night, they could have beat Celtic, but tomorrow will be another different game going to Tynecastle.
Yeah, exactly that. It will be. Hearts will probably be playing better than Celtic did, I'd imagine. And I don't imagine Derek McInnes will rotate the team too much. He's got the luxury of not having any European football midweek, so I think he'll go with a really strong side. Although he did, obviously, his players have had to put a lot into the last two matches, playing with 10 men for over an hour and a half, so that may come into consideration of his mind of switching players out and stuff. But I think Hearts have got the strongest squad in the league. That's not controversial to say. That's why they're top of the league. They can bring players off the bench. They've got players who haven't been starting that can come in. So, yeah, I think Hearts will be fine. I think they'll rotate the squad, and I think they'll get the job done, but I don't think it'll be easy for them. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for the Jambos. So, yeah, John McGlynn to make it difficult against these old employers, but McInnes' team to roar on.
Yeah, right. So the next game I'm going to talk about, right, is Motherwell Ross County's game, right? And if I thought about this early on, but Ethan, right, I could have maybe done my own quiz and say there's a lot of ex-managers like crossing the divide in the fourth round, because you've got Scott Brown, you've got Neil Lennon, you've got Neil McCann. You've got Stuart Kettlewell, as we're going to talk about in a minute. Motherwell again, Ross County. I think the only game hasn't got a connection to it, maybe. The game that we're talking about is Auchinleck against Celtic, maybe.
Yeah, probably. There's probably something down the line. But yeah, Stuart Kettlewell will want nothing more, I think, to go back to Fir Park and win. I don't see it happening. I think Ross County have got the better of the recent records against Motherwell, but that's probably largely down to Stuart Kettlewell being the Motherwell manager at the time. Of the last 4 games they've played against each other, which were all last season, when Ross County were, of course, in the Scottish Premiership. Ross County won 2, the other 2 were draws. In the season before that, Motherwell had won the last 2 meetings of that season, scoring 5 goals in both. And I think we could, unfortunately, maybe see something similar. I'm not going to go 5 goals. I think that's a bit extreme. I know Ross County started really well under Kettlewell with a win over Partick Thistle, then lose to St Johnstone midweek in the Challenge Cup. And I think Motherwell will have too much for them, regardless of what team Jens Bertholascu chooses to field. I think he'll go relatively strong, and I think it'll be a 3-0 win for the Steelmen. If I had to give my prediction, that'll be where it lands.
Yeah, I mean, they got off to a good start that week against Packet Thistle, Ethan. And I don't think it was a shock score that night, because obviously when you talk about the weather and all that kind of thing, but I guess they'll Packet Thistle at the back of their mind, they'll be thinking, well, a couple of years ago, we come up here, we should have won the first leg about 4-0, the Premiership playoff, and then Ross County scored 2 late goals that took them through as well. So that might be at the back of Thistle's mind going up to Ross County. But in saying that, Ross County done the job well against Packet Thistle.
Yeah, exactly that. And that would have given the fans probably a lot of confidence of what's been a very difficult season under multiple managers. Kettlewell, obviously, they're third now of the campaign, and he's one that obviously the fans have known from his previous spells there. And I think there is a good manager within Stuart Kettlewell. He's shown that, and he earned his reputation at Ross County and had good periods at Motherwell, and very short period to start the season. Kilmarnock were looking okay before it obviously inevitably went downhill. But yeah, a real opportunity for him to prove himself again, and he'll have to dig Ross County out of the relegation places, which is not an unattainable task by any means, but that'll probably be where their focus lies, and I think they'll be able to focus on that even more, being out of both cup competitions, obviously at the Challenge Cup, and now I imagine Motherwell are going to have too much for them, but then again, you never know in the Scottish Cup. But yeah, I just can't see past Motherwell at the minute. They've been too defensively strong as well, only conceded 2 goals in the last 10 games, and they were against Hibs and Rangers, so I can't imagine Ross County going to Fir Park and causing too many problems. But
sorry, Michael.
yeah, Rangers
guys, I've got some breaking news.
Oh,
Breaking news. Scottish football breaking news. Some bad news for Hearts fans. Bad news. Their star midfielder is going to be out for 8 weeks. Devlin.
8 weeks. Cammy Devlin out for 8 weeks. That's not good at all. Not good at all. Probably this player of the season in the Scottish Premiership so far, I would say. So, yeah, that's not good at all.
It's breaking from Hearts. It's after he was limping off against St Mirren. It's suspected it will be between 6 and 8 weeks. But Derek McInnes is said to be distraught after midfielder is said to be injured long term. So, yeah, it's a bit of a downer for Hearts, but you've got to say that's why for me it's got to be Rangers for the title for me. But because Hearts, it just shows you. I mean, like I know people saying Hearts have been brilliant, but as soon as they lose one of the big players, it's going to change the whole dynamics. And obviously you've got as well even Benny Beningame with that bad tackle that I put on TikTok the other day. I mean, he's going to be out, so you look at it and you go, it's pretty bad. It's also just now breaking from the very good friend of the show, Barry Anderson, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
He's just put up as well.
Well, I think that's maybe a bit of a... Well, we'll be an outside bet to say that he might be a kind of outside bet for the Scotland squad, but obviously not now.
No, he's Australian, Cammy Devlin.
Australian.
Right, yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, Michael, but that's got to go on TikTok.
Okay, yeah, that's taking news as well.
That's like the Ewan Cameron with Jamie McGrath. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, Ethan's just swore on the show. He said Ewan Cameron. There you go. So breaking news there from Mr. Regan Stevens, so that's good. And you can subscribe to the TikTok channel, and also you can subscribe to the Scottish Football Zone as well when Regan was saying that as well. That is big news coming out of Hearts tonight, Ethan.
Yeah, big blow for Hearts. He's probably been their best player this season. As I said, probably the best player in the league, I would say. So, yeah, and Regan makes a really good point with Benny Beningame out as well for a couple of games. I'd imagine it's going to be really difficult to see who they're going to bring in. And maybe they'll actually go out into the transfer market and try and sign some players because I imagine they probably have some prepared. We know it's difficult, the January transfer window, as we're always told, especially by one of the teams in Glasgow. But yeah, I think Hearts will maybe go out and try and get someone. But 6 to 8 weeks, that's quite a lot in the stretch of the final stretch of the season. So not ideal for Hearts, but I'm sure they've got players there that can come in. Maybe not to Cammy Devlin's influence, but you know, they've got a good team and they've got a great spirit, and I think that's the main thing. The mentality of the squad's in the right place, and yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah. I think he probably would have got a Scotland call up already, although the midfield is obviously Scotland's most stacked area. I think he probably would have, but I think Cammy Devlin, most famous moment for Australia, and no disrespect to him, he's a great achievement making the squad and going to the last World Cup with them, but he's probably his greatest
So Yep. Going back to the game we were talking about for Park, Motherwell and Ross County. Any shocks for you, Ethan? No.
No, Motherwell win quite easily, I think. Can you hear me okay, Michael? No.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very delayed, I think, for on my end. I don't know why that is, but
Yep. I can basically shout out the window because you're not too far away from. I'm not too far away from Dumbarton, Ethan.
Yeah, well, maybe that might be quicker, but I might leave, and I don't want to leave you on your own, but I might leave and join back this second.
Yep. I will. Oh well, other big is leaving me. Reagan's away as well.
I'll be back just a second.
Okay, cool. Okay, so there you go. So first on a Friday night for me and I am holding the fort as well. Don't forget to get your comments coming in, like who you want, your shock of the round will be as well this weekend. As well, I will go for a 3-0 win from Motherwell tomorrow against Ross County. Okay, let's go on to the last, well, not the last tie of the round because we haven't actually scratched the surface yet, Ethan. But one of the games that we are focusing on, and it's I think David is it David and Goliath, you might call this one, guys. Auchinleck and Celtic, 5:30 on the Sunday night, Ethan. And I think, guys, the shine has been took off this game because it's been not being played at Beachford.
Yeah, it has, quite possibly. I think it's not. Maybe it is ideal for Auchinleck Talbot. I think they probably. I don't want to sort of accuse them, but I think they might have been behind the move a little bit as well. I know it was down to the police and security and that kind of stuff, which is fair enough. But and you look at it on the bright side for Auchinleck Talbot, they get more ticket sales. They're going to bring in a lot more money, so you can understand that sense. But yeah, the whole point of the Scottish Cup, you want to see these ties and the Goliath, in this case, Celtic, going to a ground like Beechwood. And yeah, unfortunate that won't be the case. But yeah, I'm sure there'll still be loads of Auchinleck Talbot fans in attendance at Rugby Park, and it'll be a really interesting atmosphere. Celtic, of course, be monumental favourites to win this game and win it comfortably. Whether they will do is another question based on the recent form and if Martin O'Neill maybe rotates the team a little bit because fixture congestion. They've got a big game on Thursday night as well. So, yeah, I think Celtic will win pretty comfortably. I mean, have stranger things happened? This would have to be on par with the Macclesfield over Crystal Palace. This would be, yeah, crazy. Probably even more extreme than that of a team in the, what is it? Is it the 5th or 6th division Auchinleck Talbot are in? I think it might even be the 6th division.
Yeah, I think so. It's the kind of junior ranks anyway. But I mean, if you ask any Tailgate fans, I mean, they'll be quietly confident, Ethan. But I think if you ask them about 3 weeks ago, if Wilfred Nancy would be involved, they would be saying that this would be a potential banana skin.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they probably would have been saying that. But no, I think they'll have way too much for Auchinleck Talbot, unfortunately. But this is where Auchinleck Talbot, this is why they're in the Scottish Cup. This is why they want to get to the latter rounds in their case, to get these ties, the glamour ties, where you play against a team like Celtic and welcome them to, okay, not your home stadium, but your area, and you get your fans in the ground and get to see your players go up against the best players in the country. Maybe not the best players in the country this season, but in the Celtic squad.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I mean, I was actually thinking there as well that this must be the first time in a wee while, if any, Celtic played 2 games back to back in AFCA.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that, but yeah, that's a really good point. And
by the way, one poor surface and one brilliant surface.
yeah, I'd agree that the surface at Falkirk's a lot better than probably any of the other ones in the league. The Livingston one certainly improved over the summer, but yeah, the Kilmarnock Rugby Park pitch isn't the greatest, to be honest. And pitch.
I think Ethan's Wi-Fi is playing up again. I'm not actually sure. Reagan Auchinleck against Celtic. This is as I say, get it on. This is David versus Goliath on this one. And I was saying to Ethan that if you ask any Celtic fans a couple of weeks ago, if Nancy was in charge, they would be saying
Nancy was in charge of
this week. I was just going to say this would be a banana skin.
Definitely. I think the banana would have already been peeled. The way Celtic are playing, I did see our pals over in America. Over on the Crew podcast, they're actually interviewing the new Crew manager. I mean, they must have been hoping that the actual new manager might have been Wolfie Nancy, because he may have got his old job back if he took a little bit less time.
Yeah, no.
I think in terms of this match, Michael, I think Auchinleck will make it difficult. But I think Celtic overall will see it through. I want to get Ethan's take right, because I did see yesterday, Ethan, right, that Iheanacho is back from an injury, right? But it's my own fault, right? But for me personally, I would not play Iheanacho on a plastic pitch when he's just getting back from a major injury. Sorry, I don't know if Ethan's Wi-Fi has been terrible. Robbie, I don't know if you've seen the Scottish football news that just broke there.
I have not. What's happened?
Devlin's injured for 6 to 8 weeks.
Ooh, that's a big blow. I heard you talking about Iheanacho there. I think I'd be inclined to agree with you, Regan. I don't think you can risk playing certain players on a plastic pitch, especially when you know. Let's be honest. Ahead of the Celtic Auckland Talbot game, Celtic are going to win. I'm pretty confident that there's not going to be a cup upset. I'd be very, very surprised under Martin O'Neill if there was. So Regan, I think Celtic can afford to not have Iheanacho for a game at a sort of calibre. Just try and make sure he's fully up to it before.
Surely Johnny Kenny can score in this game. I know he just scored any goals, but surely he could.
Let's remember the type of form Martin O'Neill instilled into him the first time. So you never know. But how we doing today, gentlemen? We doing well?
Doing well, Robbie. Robbie, I mean, I've been talking about who's going to win the actual trophy. For me, it's going to be the Jambles. I don't know about you. I mean, who do you think is going to win the trophy at the end of May?
I'm going to stick to my predictions at the start of the season. I'm going to go Jim Goodwin's Dundee United to lift the cup at the end of the season.
Wow. I don't remember that, Robbie. Every time I've heard you saying about Jim Goodwin, it's been negative, but all right.
No, I think they'll beat it. I've predicted Dundee United to beat Hearts come the Scottish Cup final in May, which would be a shocker, but I'm going to stick by my guns, and I think, it's funny saying that, right, because I'm not going to stick by that prediction, but I also think there could be an upset at Tannadice tomorrow. I think Scott Brown should take a lot of confidence up there.
You just said that they need to win the cup.
I think Dundee United will win the cup, but I'm sticking by that prediction. But I'm saying, if looking through the fixtures, if there's going to be an upset, it's going to be at Tannadice.
And
I
so that's good. I mean, Robert, we're on fire tonight, mate. We're on fire tonight. I mean, Ethan's
Well,
coming out with lots of stats, and Robbie's coming in at the back post
Well,
with bold predictions.
Tell Robbie what you said about Cammy Devlin. Tell Robbie what you said. It was hilarious.
No, I can't say it, mate. I can't say it. It goes against my contract, mate. But yeah, I thought, for some reason, I thought it was Scottish.
It's a great one for the TikTok, Robbie. But Michael said, surely Devlin should be getting picked for Scotland.
Oh, that's bad.
No, but
Mikey, what you've done there is you've done a Ewan Cameron. I don't know if I'm seen the clip. I'm talking about Jamie McGrath getting picked for the Scotland team, but you've done a him.
To save my bacon, has to somebody said maybe Cammy's granny's came from Scotland, but yeah, that's what I meant. Because I know his gran and papa well, actually. But yeah, that's who I saw. But Robbie, what do you think about you and Cameron there? And that's the last time I'll mention them on the show ever. Because Ethan said the exact same thing about 10 minutes ago.
Really? Aye, it's exactly like that situation. But look, it's easy to get confused sometimes, Michael. And I really
I'm getting old, Robbie. I'm getting old.
Like, we all make mistakes. Like I've said a few bad ones, to be fair. I'm sure you can go back and show and find a few bad opinions. But no, Michael, I'm quite excited ahead of the cup weekend. I know you guys have been live a bit on Twitter now. I'm assuming you sort of spoke about it already, but there just is that magic feeling to the cup. Especially with some of the fixtures that you're seeing lined up. It appears I've came on for both Reagan and Ethan. There's two subs with half and only one came on the part, but. Aye, but no, Michael, there's a lot of good fixtures this weekend. I'm not going to include my own team in that because I'm kind of nervous, but no, it's got a nice feeling about it this weekend. Obviously, 5 games on the telly as well, so you can't knock that. You can't knock it.
Before we talk about your game tomorrow, what you're like, oh no, you have to talk about it. Yes, you do. That's why it's called a football show. Auchinleck Celtic, what's your prediction on this one? I'm never going to get Reagan's and Ethan's because I don't know what they're up to, but they're not here, so I'll just get your one.
Right, I'm going to go 4-0 with Celtic. I think it'll be a pretty comfortable evening for Celtic. I don't think there'll be too much hassle, to be honest, and I think they'll progress through.
Yep, I will not, because you're here and I like you when you do a wee rant on the show sometimes, Robbie, like Wednesday night. But I will go 4-0 Celtic as well.
That's just copying Robbie's prediction. That's not.
Yeah.
Sit in the fence or copy somebody else. That's what Michael's like.
They know what they say, right? Yeah. Don't crap that up, by the way. In fact, I'll do a good guy bit for the show.
I'll be flipping it up for TikTok later.
Yeah, on you go. Build your boots.
I'll give you a wee bell over me and a couple of my mates ages ago were talking about the Euros, the Euros coming up in a few years, and we were just sort of talking about teams that we think will do well in it. And one of my mates, he thought Canada was going to do well in the Euros. Now, it doesn't take a geography expert to figure out that Canada can't play in the Euros, so you always get belters like that. They slip out of the mesh random.
I know it's snowing in Canada, but it's no.
It's not fair. Reagan, what's your prediction on Sunday, Auchinleck and 5:30 kickoff, by the way?
Oh, 5:30.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Auchinleck 1.
Oh, wait a minute. 1. Oh, right, okay.
Auchinleck 1, Celtic 5.
Oh,
Auckland
Auckland scored the equaliser from
Oh,
Stephen
right, okay.
from Stephen Welsh's backside.
Robbie, I don't know if you saw the show from the beginning, but Reagan predict Annan could score tonight as well at Ibrox.
And at the score. Aye,
Oh.
what games have you ran through, Michael? And I'll quickly dish out my predictions.
Well, I will go this one. Yep, I'm just going to pick up here. Rangers and Skin is near Queen's Park, confirming Hibs, Dundee United here, Hearts, Falkirk, Motherwell, Ross County, and Auchinleck against Circuit. By the way, I know I've just seen Kilmarnock's playing Kilmarnock at the weekend, so hopefully Kilmarnock will win.
No, so if you want quickly, I think Rangers will beat Annan 4-0. I think that'll be a pretty comfortable night for Rangers tonight, to be honest. I don't see Annan troubling them that much, to be honest. So are we up to the what game? So we're on the last game actually. Right, we'll go. I think there'll be a shocker in this game. I'm going to go Stranraer to beat Queen's Park on penalties.
Okay.
I think another shocker that Michael, I'm assuming you heard me and Ethan represented the Scottish Football Zone off the Underside podcast last night.
You did well.
And I predicted a shocker at East End Park. I think Dunfermline will beat Hibs 2-1.
You did well, Rob. You didn't even Jimmy didn't even mention it. He said that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He said Ethan from the dugout and Robbie from Robbie Hands.
I know.
Don't want to really get
the Scottish football content, and we don't even get a mention.
Don't want the Reagan to put a comment under the video as well.
Don't worry, guys. Me and Ethan after the show put in a good word about you, so aye, there's that. Right, Michael, is anything?
He's sucking back in with.
Michael, is anything you can bring back up the fixture so I can quickly predict them?
There you go.
Right, so Dunfermline to beat Hibs 2-1. I think Dundee United will scrape by Ayr United on penalties. I'll go 4-3. I think. So who did Kilmarnock play? Sorry, Kilmarnock play Dundee.
Dundee, yeah.
I think Kilmarnock will beat Dundee 2-1 in extra time. I think the game's go to extra time, if I'm right in saying. What else is there? Aye, what else is there?
I think that's your lot.
Hearts v Falkirk. I'm gonna go another shocker, by the way. I'm gonna go Falkirk to beat Hearts on penalties.
That's perfect. I said 2-1. I said 2-1 Falkirk.
If you actually look back at the shows, and I do agree with you, I think you put spot on right. But I think Michael's got a vendetta against Hearts because they won in the league. Because he's predicted Hearts to beat the last 4 or 5 games. Ethan says, I agree. That's what he's done.
I like how people pay attention to what they say.
He'll be doing it for the next 6 weeks because everyone's doing it. But
and I just to say again, I don't know if it's on there, but it is on there. I'm going to go a shocker at Fir Park. I think Ross County are going to beat Motherwell 1-0.
Robbie boy, Robbie rants again. Robbie rants.
No, look, it's a bit of a rogue shout, but
playing brilliant.
Oh, they are playing brilliant, but I don't know. I fancy a shocker, to be honest. So,
fair enough.
Okay, let's speak about your game because you're not getting away with this, Robbie, right? Yeah, well, you come on, right? So it's only fair we return the favour to you, mate. Livingston against St Mirren tomorrow, Robbie.
Yeah.
Have you got the couch out yet?
It's right behind me. You can't see it on camera, but the couch is firmly behind me just in case it's needed. But we have signed Jake Young. That get confirmed about half an hour ago, just before 6 o'clock. So we've got a striker in, 16 goals in 25 games for, I think it was Stevenage a year or two ago.
Yep.
Jake's a guy that knows how to find the back of the net, and I think after Wednesday it's pretty evident that's what we're missing. Somebody to link up with Andrew well that Olasanya used today. Don't know if he's going to be available tomorrow, but I did just see a picture of Jake Young holding a cute puppy, so if that's real, then he's instantly won me over. But,
There's a picture of him holding a cute puppy.
yeah.
I think you think that off as well, Robbie Regan. I can't believe Robbie said that on a live show that he's holding a
no, I'm delighted to have signed him. Josh Ginnelly is apparently close to signing a contract with the club as well. Former Hearts player.
I've actually met him before. He's a good guy. Good player.
He's got a lot of pace, so I can only assume with these signings that Robinson's making that the system's going to tweak a bit. You don't sign Josh Ginnelly and no play him out wide, so I'd imagine we'll see a system switch at some point. Namora, I hope Jake starts.
Is that the guy that's now at Swansea, Robbie? But I'm sure he was at Hearts as well, wasn't he?
He was at Hearts. He's currently a free agent. Yep. I don't think he's been at Swansea since before the season started. So it'll be nice to get Josh in. It's obviously a player that knows the league well. So I'm happy with the business. Jake Young getting in. Hope we just need goals. And to be honest with you guys, if we're going to beat anybody on this dreadful run of form, it's going to be Livingston and it's going to be David Martindale's. I was saying that to Michael last Wednesday night on the show. You look at you take a closer look at the fixtures we've played in the last four. We've played arguably the four hardest teams in the league: Rangers, Motherwell, Falkirk, and Hearts. That's a pretty terrible schedule list for any team. It's no excuses that we shouldn't be getting beat at home to Falkirk 2-0, who are newly promoted. It shouldn't be happening, but. That is a tough run of fixtures, and we also went into Scottish Cup weekend last year on a 4-game losing run. We just lost at home to Dundee United 1-0. So
I don't know who this person's talking about, but my tea's getting cooked right now, so it's definitely not me.
Yeah, tease it.
He says your tease it. Whoever that is.
Not got a clue about it. No, I'm guys. I'm pretty optimistic about Michael. I think you had enough of my rant on Wednesday night, to be honest with you. I was quite angry for the Hearts.
Yeah, I watch that back, see what happens.
I was just very angry after the game, but no, I'm pretty positive headed that we will turn this around, and I don't see anything else, to be honest. There's been fans online since that show on Wednesday saying that Robinson should get sacked or backed has been the quote. I think that's absolute rubbish, to be honest with you, and I would just need to back him. Aye.
I want to ask you, do you think that I'm going to say upheaval, but do you think there will be a change behind the boardroom is possibly the problem?
To be honest, Regan, it's been an issue since the start of the season. I keep saying that the cup wins kind of papered out of the league a bit, and you don't take the cup win away. It's a monumental achievement for St Mirren to win silverware. But if you actually just look at the league form and for the start of the season, it's not been great at all. It's something that's been brewing a bit for a long time. We need to try and sort it out. I do think, by the way, Jim Gillespie leaving the club and potentially Keith Lasley still to leave the club as well. It will take an effect, of course. It will. Robinson's worked for these guys for
years. I've not seen that Lasley rumour yet, Robbie, but is that one that you know from the club then? For different things I've read, apparently Lasley's rumoured to be going to Rangers with Jim as well, so there's a potential of that happening, but I'm not sure how that's advancing it. I really couldn't tell you, but what I will say is, if we were to lose Keith, that's two valuable members of Stephen Robinson's team that he's worked with for years. It's going to take a hit. I've no really in the past 3 years of Robinson being at the club heard him sound so deflated after post-match press conferences. I've also never heard him say the players made him look stupid. I think he's being very brutally honest in a good way, to be honest, and hopefully gives the players a sort of kick on to turn this around. And by the way, I think we will. I think we'll beat Livingston in both games. I don't know the player. I don't know the player. I've only seen the highlights on YouTube, but I mean that same guy actually went offside for both chances for St Mirren. I mean, they could have been 2-0 up.
We could have been. The second one was a lot closer. A very close call, to be honest. I think it was just half Roland Adobo, to be honest. The first one was a no-brainer. It was offside. But we didn't create enough against 10 men.
Especially 10 men, Robbie. I'm kind of I'm thinking in the pub. I'm going, is this going to be the night where Scottish football changes to this season? But no, it didn't end up that way. But fair play to Hearts. But
Hearts are, Hearts again at the Champions season where, how many times, Regan, in the past have you watched Celtic be pretty poor in a game but still just find that way, still find that magic moment near the end of a game to just really seal it
I
off?
don't know if you heard the actual madness of what Charlie McGrew was saying last night, right? Did you hear what he said?
I did not know.
He was on the radio and he said that the only way to for Celtic to win the league is for Celtic to go and buy Braga, Shankland and Kira. He thinks that Celtic should go and buy them. I was like, what?
I don't know if you've heard the latest Open Goal episode with Slaney and stuff. I was listening to Slaney and Gordon Dalziel and they both thought Celtic need to buy 6 players in January, and I'm like, all right, maybe that's what Celtic need, yes, but let's be realistic. There's 13 days left of the window. Celtic are only going to sign 6 players in 13 days. You need to be realistic about things. Celtic
Celtic going to sign another 3 probably.
No, definitely no 6. So Celtic need to prioritise certain positions. I personally, strikers obviously one. Right, but in my opinion, Trusty's no good enough to win a league. He's no. I don't think when you've got skills next to him, I don't think Trusty can do it. I think he's very unreliable, and I think when Celtic travel to Tynecastle in 9 days, I think he'll be under a lot of pressure, and I think he'll make mistakes. To be honest, so I'd say a centre back's needed as well as a striker, and
what do you make it? That's what I'm going to say. Right, I'm going to say that if Celtic don't recruit before the 24th of January, they will be out of the title race because this team will not go and beat Hearts, and this team right now will not go and win the title because they're quite simply not. They're not able to win a title, Robbie.
I would agree with you, and what I'd say as well is, can we really see Hearts dropping 9 points between now and the end of the season? Because I can't.
I think potentially because if you look at their obviously going through a great run of form, but up until now they've never really had a player that's been out for this long. I mean, definitely there's potential looking at 8 weeks out, Robbie. So that's a lot of time.
What helps Hearts though is their squad depth. They are full.
Do you think that might force? Do you think that might force Hearts to go in the market, Robbie, and go? Right, we're going to do a Tony Bloom. Bless you.
No, I mean they already look. Hearts have started recruiting for next season. They've signed that guy on a pre-contract. They'll join up in the summer.
On a Saturday.
They've also signed Josh McPake. They've signed that Ratto on a pre-contract as well. Tony, let's be honest, right? Theoretically, if Hearts stay bottle at this season, which they still could, the title's still very much open balance for 3 teams. There's nothing suggesting that they'll only just push on and try again next season, because Tony won't hold on it that way.
So, I think for me, Robbie, that just shows me that Rangers and Hearts have both got ambition, but Celtic to me don't look like ambition. I mean, I don't know if you heard a good friend of the show, Anthony Joseph, but he's linking Celtic with is it Callum Wilson for West Ham? That guy. I mean, he's been injured more than me, and I've been injured quite a lot. By the way, there's been a lot of things wrong with me in my day, but I mean that guy's been injured quite a lot, So I don't really see him being the striker that comes in and goes, right, Celtic are definitely going to win the league now. But Robbie, I was just going to say finally, I know Michael wants me to stop these tangents. He's probably going to deduct my wages from the Scottish Football Zone. But I was just going to ask you, Robbie, what do you make of that Tubai, who Celtic were supposed to sign, moving to Sunderland for £3 million?
Look, we know what the Celtic board are like. It wouldn't surprise me if Celtic were offering 1.7 or something, and the club have said no. And Sunderland have went, all right, we'll take them then, because that's what clubs do with ambition. That's what clubs do when they want players. They don't care about the price. They'll go and get them. And can I ask you guys something just on the back of that? Everybody right now is talking about how Celtic need to recruit well and Celtic need to do this and Celtic need to do that. As far as I'm concerned, the only two teams right now in terms of recruitment I could see pushing on and putting in a league challenge are Hearts and Rangers. I don't even think Celtic are in the equation right now.
No, I agree with you. I'm saying that if Celtic don't draw next week, which I don't think they will, I can already go out and see my prediction for next week. I think that Celtic will get beat 3-0 by Hearts. You know, I think that Shankland, Braga,
Because
they've
we
got,
just
and they've got a great defensive partnership with Stuart Finlay and Halkett. They've got so I'm going to go 3-0 to Hearts next week, and I do believe I do believe if that genuinely happens, then I think that Celtic will not be longer in the title race, because I don't see Hearts dropping off. Robbie, but what do you mean? Well, I mean, I'm just looking at
guys. Let's get out this big massive hole here and let's get back on and crack, because I'm a bit seasick now. Let's talk about Livingston St Mirren before we move on to the other games. What's your prediction for this game, guys?
as much as I love David Martindale, I think he's a great coach, great guy, and he's obviously doing a good job at Livingston. I do believe that St Mirren will win the match by 3-1.
Oof. Not scored 3 goals in about 2 months, mate.
You never said that
I'm
to me
being
before
optimistic,
the
Robbie. I'm
show.
being optimistic.
You never said that to me before the show, Regan. You said 5-0 to Livingston.
Oh, I
But
didn't.
there you go. Hey, Robbie, what about you?
I need to stay optimistic. I'm not as optimistic as Reagan, right enough. It'll be a tough game and probably tough conditions with the way the weather's looking, to be honest. I'm going to go 1-0 St Mirren, and I'm going to go Jake Young to score a goal.
1-0 to St Mirren. There we go. Let's run through the other game for you before we finish off tonight in the 4th round of the Scottish Cup. Of course, we spoke about Rangers Ireland tonight against Fairman and Hibs tomorrow 12:30 on
Can we
the
just
telly.
make a courtesy when you run through? Can you just quickly fire in our predictions for them?
Yep. So, well, let's do the games we haven't spoke about. Right, that would be easier, right? So, Airdrie against Arbroath, Robbie.
I think Arbroath will win that 2-1.
Well, I'm going to go a bit different. I'm going to go 2-1 to Airdrie. 2-1 to the Diamonds, because they are a girl's best friend. 2-1.
Miss Millie Penny. James Bond there. Kelty Hearts against Cove Rangers.
Kelty, they're not doing great, are they? They're both my League One. They're not doing well.
No.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm going to go 2-0 to Cove Rangers and Paul Hartley. Is Paul Hartley still there?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
No, he is. I'm pretty sure Paul's still there, right? I think so.
I think he's got a home
Okay.
there.
Let's
Did
go
he
to
have
Regan's second team in Glasgow.
Michael, I'll go 0-0 and Kelty Hearts win it on penalties. For that one.
Regan,
I'm going to go 2-0 to Cove Rangers.
Packet Thistle against Minclose at Fahill for Thrills.
Here comes the Reagan 5-0 Thistle, easy win.
No, I'm not going to be there tomorrow. I'm not seeing the game, but
His goodness here.
I think that Partick Thistle will win tomorrow. I think it'll be 3-0.
No, I'm going to go a Thistle comfortable win as well. I'll go 2-0 Thistle.
But what I
Partick.
would say on Partick Thistle is it's been a pretty down, miserable week for Partick Thistle. I mean,
They're getting shaky. They're getting shaky.
yeah, I mean, to go 3-2 up and then to lose it in penalties.
But Spartans
Incredible.
against Inverness.
Another shocker for me,
Yeah.
Michael.
I think that is that not a derby? No, I'm not getting that.
Spartans is in Edinburgh. Whenever that
No.
derby is.
Right, okay, so I'm
Inverness.
doing well tonight.
Oh my God.
No,
Okay.
another shocker for me, Michael. 2-1 Spartans.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 to Spartans.
Skennismuir against Morton.
But Michael, you need to get your predictions as well. Don't sit on the fence, son.
Yeah, Fairhill for Thrills. Okay, so I will go to 3-1 to Packet Thistle tomorrow. I will go Celtic Hearts and Cove Rangers. I will go for a Cove win away from home. 2-0. Spartans against Inverness. I will go with 2-1 for Inverness, and I will. There you go. So Skennismuir against Morton, guys.
4-0 Stenhousemuir, Morton at the Cup. See you later. No, I'll go. Seriously, I'll go 1 each and Stenhousemuir to win it on penalties.
Reagan?
I'm going to try and be as unbiased as possible. I think it's going to be 1-0 to Morton. I don't think it's going to be a good game.
Regan, I'm trying not to be biased, but what I would say is since Dougie left Morton, they're not doing great.
Not the same team, no.
Nope. Dougie Emery's a good guy. I've met him before. Yeah, I hope he's watching because he was on the Scottish Football Zone before. So.
Yeah, so that's guys finished for the weekend. That is your fourth round.
I was just going to say, Robbie predicted that it'll be Dundee United to win the cup. I've predicted Hearts. Who are you saying on fourth round?
I will go. A bit early for my prediction because I usually.
No, it's not early. Come on, tell us. Don't sit on that fence. I know there's a bit of nails on the fence, but just
no. Okay, I will. I usually predict about 10-5 after the cup final. That's when I usually get my
Just to say quickly before you give your prediction, Michael, I know there's another game that's not been mentioned, but I think one of the biggest shockers we're going to see this weekend is non-league Cameron Juniors knocking out Elgin City at home.
Oh,
Aye.
Yeah. So there you go. That's how Robbie's here.
But don't let Michael forget about his prediction. Who's your
Oh
prediction?
no, aye. Who's winning the cup, Michael? Come on.
Okay, I will go the green and white ribbons will be on it.
Will
it be Hibs or will it be Celtic? I think it will be Celtic for the
easy choice.
That's a boring, predictable answer.
No, it's not. It's just
I think as well, by the way, I think Dougie Emery's Raith Rovers might knock out Aberdeen at Pittodrie, I know.
There's a good prediction for you. That's bold.
That could be a shock of the round. Thanks, guys, for joining us. I don't know what happened to Ethan, actually. He must have fell out the ether somewhere. Or must have fell out the window. Maybe, I don't know. Thanks for joining us tonight. Reagan and Robbie and Ethan as well. Don't forget, we'll be back on Sunday after the Auchinleck Celtic game because the fifth round of the Scottish Cup draw will be taking place
and the question is, Michael,
the
who's
game.
Going to be in it? Who's going to be in the draws? It'll be interesting to see as well.
Rod Stewart might be doing the draw this year. Busy week for the show. We'll be on Thursday for the games in European action as well. And before I go, you can subscribe to the Scottish Football Zone YouTube channel, or you can, if that's your fancy, but if this is another fancy of yours, TikTok, you can head over to there and you can see our content we're putting up.
You can see great things what Michael's saying that
Yeah. And yeah, and you can hear that interview, a brilliant interview, Sean, Reagan done with Sean Crichton early on from Queen's Park as well.
And by the way, I know you mentioned we're doing a show on Thursday, but I might come on a show myself on Tuesday night after the St Livingston game and do a wee match review.
Yeah, good shout.
Robbie, I'll come on with you from Tuesday night.
Good, because I was good. It means we can get some post-match thoughts on the game when we inevitably get beat.
Yeah, no, I forgot about Tuesday. We'll be on Tuesday night as well for the Livingston St Mirren game. But enjoy your weekend, guys. Cup football, and we will speak to you soon here on the Scottish Football Zone.
You're watching the Scottish Football Zone with all the build-up and reactions.